I love starting my paintings with lots of texture. Come with me as I explore a new way of getting that texture right from the very beginning. Here are a few of the tools that I'm using to create those initial textures on the canvas. Note that I've started with canvases that have already been doubly primed with gesso and sanded back to give me a nice, clean, smooth layer to begin with. I'm taking a 2-inch brush and sticking it right into the gesso jar and making some thick and thin marks all over the canvas. These are marks that will dry, some of them like impasto, some of them very thin like glazes, but they'll give me something to respond to when I add paint later. I then take those lids, the circular lids, paint gesso on them, and then press the gesso into the surface of the canvas. This is giving me some beautiful irregular shaped circles with thin edges and thick edges. It'll be interesting to see how the paint responds to it later. Catalyst wedge is a great tool for making some straight lines and some really unpredictable organic marks with gesso. The thicker you put the gesso on, the thicker it will stay on the canvas. I'm also using it to spread some of the thick bits around just a bit to get a little bit more variety in marks in these initial layers. Here's what the texture looks like up close before the gesso has a chance to dry. You'll see brush strokes, you'll see variation in thick and thin marks, you'll see some straight lines, you'll see some blobs. After it dries, I use my brayers and some base colors to go in and apply paint. After an afternoon painting session, this is what I'm left with. Notice how the paint has grabbed those thick edges of gesso. Curious as to where I'm going to go with these 2 new starts? Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be back to share what happens to them soon.